Hey guys, time to chill out with Sub-07 and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Crystal. Last time, we headed west from Ecruteak City and crossed lands to find Olivine City, the next stop on our journey. This is not where the next gym badge is, however, because the gym leader for Olivine is currently out. She's actually taking care of some sort of sick Pokemon at the town Lighthouse. This time, I did say we were going to go in the Lighthouse, and I do intend to do that, but we're going fishing first. We did recently obtain the Good Rod in this area, and I wanted to show off that there are brand new encounters that you can only get thanks to the Good Rod. Assuming we get any sort of bite, come on. Come on. Don't do this to me, game. This might take a minute. There are very important encounters that I want to show off, and they are specifically tied to the Good Rod, so we need to do this real fast. Oh my god. Game, don't play me like this. Come on. Seriously? God! No, just kidding. Okay, there we go. Oh, bite! Now with the Good Rod, many new Pokemon will not show up because Magikarp is king. God damn it. Useless Magikarps. Okay, I kind of feared this would happen, so we're gonna talk about this in waves, I think. Because there's actually two parts to new encounters in this area that are tied to Good Rod. There's actually two in here, but there's also two in the seaside port that we haven't actually taken a look at yet. Maybe we'll get one of them right now. It's a low odds, but there's a chance. No. Of course there's not. Alright, we're going to talk about the real ones that you can get first. First things first, there's two new encounters within the city of Olivine itself, and they're both tied to Good Rod. During the day and mornings, you have a chance to encounter Corsola. I feel bad for you if you try and use Corsola. This is a bad Pokemon, like genuinely not a good Pokemon. We've talked about this in the previous episode. Water Rock type is not a great type in that it doesn't hum with one weakness like Water Ground, instead gaining other weaknesses like Fighting and Electric, because Rock for some reason doesn't resist Electric. And Corsola just doesn't get much in the way of good stats or good moves to benefit its typing. It's not good for offense, it's trying to be defensive, but it's only kind of trying to be defensive. Which I guess makes sense, it's Coral. Coral is not very protective of itself. But at the same time, I just kind of feel bad for it. The good news is, Corsola got better later, because this thing actually wound up getting itself an alternate version in Galar that makes me genuinely upset because it's based off something that I don't like. And it gets to be a ghost type instead of a water rock type, and weirdly enough, gets an evolution in the form of Cursola, which trades out being defensive in favor of being just a hard-hitting special attacker, if memory serves me correctly. I don't like Cursola and Galar Corsola because it makes me feel sad, because they're both based off the concept of coral bleaching, which is when coral turns bleach white because the temperatures of the seawater are changing and rising up. God, I hate climate change. If you want to use a Corsola, don't. But if you want to use a Cursola, I guess you could use worse, but it'll just make me viscerally upset. However, there's one other encounter that you can get only at nighttime. It is the rarest encounter of the three, and same with Corsola, I guess, for the day and mornings times. But instead of Corsola, you get something way better. You get Staryu. An absolutely more than worth your time Pokemon to consider. It starts as a pure water type, but once you find a water stone and apply it to this thing, you get a mother of all nightmare-inducing water psychic types. Starmie is a very powerful Pokemon that is very fast, hits very hard, and while it does have low health, it has a lot of great moves, and it just has a great typing. Water Psychic is a really good offensive type, and Starmie has always been a reliable Pokemon. I've used it on my team for Fire Red Leaf Green, and I have no qualms about it. It's one of the best Pokemon of the first generation that isn't a legendary. You could genuinely do a whole lot worse than having a Staryu. Alright, get out of here, you damn crab. Thank you. Yeah, it looks like we're not going to find anything, and I suspected we weren't. Those are 10% encounters. But what I wanted to do was go south, because there's this little passageway you can take, and by going underground for some reason for a second, you come out to this side for the Olivine port. How many rods do you have? Different rods catch different Pokemon. Yeah, that's true. This is actually the connecting point to, what is it, SS Aqua? We don't want you to fall into the sea, so you're not allowed in. Wow, thanks a lot, asshole. This is the aquatic transport that they have to travel to other areas for the Johto region. Unfortunately, it looks like we're just not allowed to take it. Try again. We're not allowed to take the boat right now. Shelter are easy to catch here. They're kind of rare elsewhere. And that is true. There's another few encounters that you can get exclusively in this little area. Let's see if we can get one. Oh, a bite! Come on, big money, no whammies. Big money, no whammies. Well, would you look at that? There's one of them. Shelder. Shelder is sort of the opposite of Staryu in that they were regional differences based on whether you had Generation 1's red or blue version. Shelder is a sort of strange counterpart to Starmie, though, because it trades out being offensive for being very, very defensive. Shelder's evolution Cloyster is also obtained through a Water Stone and becomes a juggernaut of physical defense. This thing is a brick wall that can take hits, and thanks to having an ice type, is able to actually blast back pretty hard against a lot of other types. The problem is, Cloyster is purely physical defensive. Its special defense is terrible, and being a water-ice type means it has a lot of weaknesses it has to deal with. There are potentially better Pokemon you could get, but if you want to use this thing, early gen, it's actually pretty solid as a physical wall. Later gens getting so many different types with new moves and the physical special split really did not help out Cloyster too much, but you could do worse. Oh my god, Alan, please don't call me. Oh my god, leave me alone! But the important thing is, there's actually one other encounter that you can get here that is exclusively a Generation 2 Pokemon. Come on. Come on. Well, maybe we get it right now? Maybe? There's a chance. Oh, would you look at that? There it is. This is Chinchou. Chinchou is a very special Pokemon. Its stats may not look all that impressive for its final form, outside of that pretty beefy special or HP stat. That is not a problem, because Chinchou is an absolute menace packing one of the best typing in the entire series, the much coveted Water Electric type. Now on paper you might go, that sounds pretty good. It's better than you think it is. For one thing, Water Electric is a very powerful offensive type that complements each other really well. If you know a move like, say, Rain Dance, it powers up water moves and makes Thunder, one of the best electric moves, 100% accurate. It also is an amazing defensive typing because Chinchou and its evolution Lantern only have 2 weaknesses. They're weak exclusively to ground and grass, and it's such an awkward typing to deal with, otherwise you might not be ready for this thing. Its stats are not perfect, outside of that incredible HP stat which lets it soak up hits, but you could do a lot worse than having a Chinchou on your team. And that's why I'm going to catch one. Because genuinely, I think this thing is a great Pokemon, and I wish that it got some sort of stat buff in later gens or something. And we're going to use the Lure Ball, because we can. Nice! Just what I was hoping for. Chinchou's data was duly added to the Pokedex. And yep, we finally have ourselves a water type, because we've been in need of one. You do need a water type in order to progress. The Angler Pokemon. Its antennae, which evolved from a fin, have both positive and negative charges flowing through them. Now I got a name for this thing lined up, easy enough, and thankfully I don't have to worry about it being a particular gender for this name to make sense. You, my friend, are current. It actually works both ways, water current and electric currents. Welcome to the team, buddy. Let's go back and heal. Alright, now that we got everyone healed up, I think it's time that we tackle this lighthouse itself. But first things first, though, there's one other thing I really should be doing real fast. Since Chinchou is new to the team, we can actually get it up to strength really quickly, thanks to giving it the HM for Surf. It's the only thing on our team that can learn it, and since I do need a water type, that's why I caught this bad boy, or girl. And this is just going to be a really useful tool for us to have, because Surf is just a powerful tool. Its base moveset, Thunder Wave, Supersonic, Flail, Water Gun. It's not bad. Thunder Wave paralyzes whenever it lands. Supersonic Confusion, of course. Flail does more damage the less health it has, and Water Gun is a basic water attack. We can get rid of Water Gun. Nice. Already trading out a decent water move for a great water move. And let's just slap you right to the front of the party. And let's head in. Welcome to the Lighthouse. I believe this is sometimes referred to as the Glimmer Lighthouse, but there's a few different names it goes through. In the past, Pokemon used to light the sea around Olivine at night. The lighthouse was made in honor of those Pokemon. Interesting. I suppose it makes sense, it is a sea town. People train at this lighthouse. It's not easy to climb because of all the trainers. That is true. There will be trainer battles in this place, so make sure you're healed up for that. Otherwise, you might run into some issues. There's quite a few floors to this place, but luckily the trainers aren't too much of a concern. This is no place for playing. Who said anything about playing, bud? I'm here to win. First one to bat, Gentleman Alfred. He's only got one Pokemon, but it is a Noctowl. Unfortunately, Current does not start with an electrical attack, which would be nice to have against something like Noctowl, but let's see how much Surf does by itself. This is a base 90 attack power move, which is pretty great. But Noctowl has actually got decent special defense, so this might be a problem. Luckily, Electric resists flying, so this is sort of a war of attrition. I'm hoping that Current can do this by himself, because getting a good start on her experience would be nice. I'm going to misremember who is what gender all the time in this generation, because I have very specifically picked out team members, but not all of them I, like, pinned to a certain gender or anything, so this might get a bit confusing. Alright, 2 more hits should probably be good. And yeah, this was very much the plan from the start to get a Chinchou. It's not going to seem all that useful at first, aside from just having a good water type, but once we start getting crazy stuff... Oh, you dick. Once we start getting things like electrical attacks on this thing, it's going to start blasting, and it's going to be very fun. I don't need to worry about friendship-based stuff with you, so I actually can use a heal powder on you. There you go. Sorry, bud. Ow. Alright, finish it off. Probably could have used Flail there to save some PP on Surf, but that's not that big of a worry for me. Nice. Down you go, and plenty of experience to start for Current. Ah, I can see that you're serious. Yes, indeed I am. There are as well some items around here you'll be able to pick up, so make sure you keep an eye out for them. There's a good handful. Men of the sea are always spoiling for a good fight. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I guess I haven't met many sailors in my time, but I've definitely met a bunch of people who are fans of the ocean. Poliwag. Unfortunately, water resists water, so this might be a bit of a hassle. Current. Annoy them to death. Use Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave is just useful to have because paralysis on anything that gets in your way is really effective. But yeah, water is going to be a hassle for us. Let's just tag out. And you know what? We're going to pick the thing that's weak to water because I'm a fucking insane person. Fully paralyzed. That's good. Take Quick Attack. I know Inferno is, at some point in the near future, going to get a better fire move, but we've been sitting with Ember for so long, I kind of forgot when we're supposed to be getting that. This is kind of the worst place for Inferno to be, but you know what? Whatever. Doink. Unfortunately, I believe all this guy has is, yeah, Poliwhirls and Poliwags, so, not gonna be the best time to be using these two, but whatever. I'm sort of glad that I picked up Current because we really don't have any answer to water types. But that's gonna be not too much of a concern now that we have someone like this on the team. Especially since Paralysis does a lot to slow them down. Yes, use Bubble. Critical hit. And let's go to Alucard. Why not? As we said previously as well, 2 of our Pokemon we're still waiting on for evolutions, and they're both going to be friendship-based, so we kind of need to ease that along and take whatever opportunity we can to make their friendship higher. I have been taking Alucard and Artemis in shifts to the Salon Brothers whenever I get the chance, because not all of these are recorded on the same day, of course, so hopefully we'll be seeing results from that soon, but who knows. Hard to tell sometimes. I'd also rather be not spinning on my bike for an hour to get their friendship up. Urgh, I lose. Yep, yes you do. Next. Take the stairs. There's that guy guarding an item. There's this dude, who isn't, but I'll take him anyway. Why are you here? Are you just going to gawk? I suggested you leave. I don't know what you thought I was going to do in terms of gawking, but no, that was not part of my plan, bud. Birdkeeper. You picked a bad day to have this career choice. Sure, I can't electrocute the birds, but I can still drown them. Surf. Ow. That was worse than I thought it would be. But it's not too big of a deal. Nice. Good critical hit. Unfortunately, you don't get much experience because you're a damn Pidgey, but still. Yeah, this is pretty much how everything's gonna go. We're just gonna have Current drown everything with some surfing because it's just one of the best moves you can have at this point for a water type, so you should slap it on any water type you got. I suppose while we're doing this, one thing that I can bring up is that I didn't mention this at the time, but the character of Ucine, if memory serves me correctly, was actually exclusive to Crystal version. Because if I'm remembering correctly, he does not appear in Gold and Silver, probably because he is a man seeking Suicune, and Suicune wasn't as, I guess, story relevant, quote unquote, as it is in this game. Because the 3 legendary beasts, they're not really that important to the ongoing plot of things. They're sort of background elements because of how mythical they are. Level up. Nice job, Current. But I don't think it's a bad thing that Ucine's not the most important part of the plot. We'll actually be seeing him relatively soon, which will be interesting to see. But I'm curious on how they sort of plan to have a character like him be part of the story, since he doesn't really do much in the grand scheme of things. Like, I wonder why they felt the need to have him. One last Pidgey. I'm gonna take the opportunity to heal real fast. This seems like a bad idea otherwise. We got plenty of super potions, why not? And we do also have the magnet, which I do plan to slap on Current once she learns any sort of electric move. But since she doesn't have any currently, that's kind of pointless. And you know what? It was a good idea that I didn't attack that turn because I would have died from that crit. At least if the Pidgey had went first. But it's dead now, so it doesn't matter. Bye-bye. Nice job, bud. You really are concerned. About what? What are you talking about? Let's get out of here. I believe one of the trainers in the Lighthouse you can also get the phone number of. I believe it was the sailor downstairs, but I'm not too worried about him right now. I travel the world to train my Pokemon. I wish to battle with you. Alright, bud. See what you got. Another gentleman of sorts. They usually only have a couple Pokemon, but they're usually stronger. Oh, honey, you picked a bad day to do this. You really shouldn't have done this. Bye. Rowlets are great, but they're also fire types, so that is a bad call for you. And a crit. No kill like overkill. Nice. 2 of them. You know, it wouldn't surprise me that a gentleman would just be wandering around with 2 dogs. But at the same time, not a good idea when I'm just dragging an anglerfish around. I do love to imagine that some water types are very clearly fish and shouldn't exist outside of water. It's really funny to visualize it as either them flopping around during the battle, or you just bring a fish tank with you everywhere you go. Because what else are you supposed to do to store these things? They're gonna die otherwise. Now, I believe if we head this way, there's another sailor. But I'm pretty sure we're not supposed to go this way because there's nothing here. Jasmine must be worried sick about the Pokemon here. She won't even smile these days. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, Jasmine is the one in charge of things here, but if she's not happy with what's going on, that's not a good sign for her Pokemon upstairs. Krabby? Krabby have really low special defense, so maybe I can abuse that. How much is this gonna do? Pretty good, honestly. Vice Grip. Ow. Let's tag out. I don't want to take any unnecessary risks. Another Vice Grip. That's not too big of a concern for me because I can just bite you. Chomp. It is still so weird to me that Bite, of all things, is a special attack because they just didn't really think about it too much when it came to generations. Bite, I believe, existed in the first generation, but it was considered a normal type attack, so there wasn't too much to worry about. But once Dark was introduced, They just made everything dark-typed a special attack, which really complicates some things like this. What I'm saying is I'm grateful for the physical special split in Gen 4. That was one of the best changes to come across the entire series. I say mostly, because, well, for the most part, it made a lot of Pokemon better. It did wind up crippling a couple of Pokemon. Not most, but just a couple. I believe there's also a hidden item somewhere around here, but I don't remember where you're supposed to find it. Oh, there's a non-hidden one. TM34. What is that? Let's take a look real fast. 34 Swagger. Right, this is a dangerous move. You raise your opponent's attack by 2 stages, but you also confuse them in the process. Sort of a risky move, but it is kind of useful, I suppose. If you're going to play things like the Parafusion strategy and paralyze them and confuse them, it could be a fun tool to have. Or if you know that they're a really hard-hitting special attacker, but their physical attack sucks, that also works. Another Bird Keeper. Sort of a hodgepodge of trainers around here, which is, I guess, normal for mini-dungeons like these. I suppose as well, since we have Chinchou and we can use Surf, there is a good number of places around the area that we haven't been to in a while that we probably want to revisit. Because, since we can Surf now, we can go to places we couldn't normally reach. Like, we are especially overdue for a revisit to Ruins of Alph or something. But we can't do anything about it just yet because we're not there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, that's bad. No. Oh. You lousy Fearow. Well, if you're gonna kill my partner, I'm gonna bring out my other partner. Get in here. Let's set this stupid bird on fire for that. You would have been a great level up for it. Unfortunately, Fearow is just kind of a dangerous thing to run into right now because if your luck is bad, Fury Attack does 5 hits, or can go up to 5 hits, and it does benefit from a type boost. Now burn that bird. Thankfully, you can also miss that attack, which is nice. Out of here. Nice. And another Spearow, of course. Yeah, right now, Inferno kind of probably has the least to do out of any party member. He'll get his chance in the sun soon, but it's just not time yet because fire and water do not mix well for him. I just wish I remembered which level he actually gets another fire attack at because it's coming soon. I just don't remember when. Oh, so close. Alright, that takes care of Dennis. Oops, they crashed. Let's see if we have a revive of sorts. If not, I'm gonna have to go back and heal real fast. No, we don't. That is unfortunate, but that also gives me a chance to go sell that nugget that we got, so you know what? I'll be right back. I suppose one of the funny things about the Lighthouse is that one of the ways you can easily get down from here is to take these dark spots. There are holes in the floor, which implies this place has failed OSHA violations many times. I'll take that. Jasmine is this city's gym leader. I mean to bring her back with me. Nobody better get in my way. Well, I hate to do this to you, but I was planning to do that, so, out of my way. But yeah, there's just a bunch of holes in the floor to help you get home faster. Maybe not the brightest idea to have, because you might severely injure someone, but whatever. That is a Meryl. We really can't do anything about that, because that thing's gonna just sit here and take all of our hits. So, Stark, you're up. I suppose if I wanted to, I could either go gambling at the game corner or go perusing for some sort of electric attack that I could get to it. But the thing I really want on it is not going to be available for a while, at least if memory serves me correctly. Oh no! Why do you have that? I better not be having a repeat of the Miltank situation. Don't you dare. Don't do it. I'm quad weak to that, but you know what? You don't get a same type attack bonus, and your attack's not that beefy. Get out of here! Ugh. Crisis averted. Lousy Connie. Ah, my Pokemon! Good. Don't you try that with me. We're actually gonna fall down here real fast and immediately run into another battle. Sailor is both kind and strong. How about you? I'd like to think I'm strong, but jury's still out on that part, I suppose. Terrell, what do you got? Poliwhirl. Fair enough. Let's see. Oh my god. How? I'm gonna check again. I hate doing this, but you know what? Let's see how many. 1! Man, how does that keep happening to me? Artemis, you go. It's your turn, bud. It is kind of strange to think that we're one Pokemon away from actually having our full team. The problem is, I also know that last one is going to take us a little bit of time to find, unfortunately. This one is going to be a late edition. I am excited to be using it, but... oh, God. We're going to be waiting a while. Luckily, the rest of the team can more than pick up the slack for us, I think. Like, none of the gym leaders should be giving us any problems. Famous last words, of course, but I think we're going to be fine. One more quick attack. Nice. Good job, bud. Another level up for Current. We're keeping Current at the front of the party because they need to catch up as fast as they can, so why not? You're both kind and strong. Thank you. I try. We get an Ether that replenishes the PP on one move. Nice. And this gives us an easy route straight to the top. There's another Sailor to deal with who's a spinner, so kind of hard to avoid him. I wanted to battle Jasmine, but she's not up to it now. So how about you? Yeah, it seems like a lot of people in town are actually worried about Jasmine if they're all saying they want to go and bring her back. Either they're worried or they just want a gym battle, but either way, kind of nice to see that people do show genuine concern for their gym leader. It does sort of bring up an interesting question, though, because someone brought this up at work the other day. Is gym leader someone's actual job, or is it just your side hustle? Like, that's a good question. Because it depends on the generation, but for some people, it definitely is not the main job. Other people, it certainly is, but not everybody. Get out of here, Machop. Because, like, Gen 5, all the gym leaders have some sort of side job they're doing that isn't tending to the gym. Striaton City, they're all taking care of their restaurant. Lenora from the next gym is a librarian, I believe. Berg is an artist, Elise is a model, all that jazz. But stuff like Gen 1, most of them don't have other jobs outside of it. Aside from, like, being a psychic in Sabrina's case. Like, it's kind of weird to think about. Alright, just easily take care of you. Please don't low kick. Ugh. Low kick is a pretty dangerous move, but only because I think it just deals a lot of damage because Chinchou might be heavier than I realize it is. I actually don't remember the weight of this thing off the top of my head, but it probably isn't that heavy. But being a fighting type, it's just going to get extra damage from it. Chinchou's defenses are not the best, but I guess it's not the worst thing in the world that could have happen. And there's another Poliwhirl. Sailors do really like Poliwhirls around here, so if you got electric or a grass type, you'll be fine. Go get him, Artemis. Alright, quick attack. We're almost there. I believe this is actually the last trainer we'll have to worry about as well, which is nice. Because I think we're just one floor away from the top of the lighthouse, so thankfully, this is almost taken care of. One more quick attack, nice. And that takes care of you. And that's the end of Sailor Ernest. Whoa, whoa, you're overwhelming. Easy does it. What are you? Super Repel, just a better Repel, nice. Now let's head up one more. Yep, here we are. This Pokemon always kept the sea lit at night, but it suddenly got sick. It's gasping for air. I understand that there is a wonderful pharmacy in Cianwood, but that's across the sea, and I can't leave Amphi unattended. May I ask you to get some medicine for me, please? We don't really get a prompt to say yes or no, but yeah, this is Jasmine and her Ampharos Amphi. Ugh, its breathing is terribly labored. This kind of hit me more than I think it did for a lot of people, because since you literally can't encounter an Ampharos in Crystal version, you never actually get the chance to see Ampharos up close, at least normally. So I had no idea what that thing even looked like other than just assuming it was in pain. I didn't even know what its cry was, it just sounded in pain. But we have our objective for ourselves. We need to get across the sea to Cianwood so that we can get some medicine to help her feel better. And luckily for us, the sea down is pretty much a straight shot. Let's just walk over here to Route 40. There is some important things we could take care of around this place, But I think it's best that we save that for another time. Route 40, Cianwood City to Olivine City. This is a connecting route to those two. But I think it's best we stop here. Next time on Let's Play Pokemon Crystal, we take to the seas and we head south to Cianwood. Till next time, ice out.